Hi, it's Elle, and you're on the last tip video for this series that I've put together for you. And I really want to thank you for joining me here. I hope that these are helpful to you. I would love your feedback. So if you want to pop an email to me, just let me know what you learned from these. Did you learn something new? In this video, I want to share something very eye-opening with you. And it's also, I'm not sharing it to scare you, but I'm sharing it to empower you and enlighten you and maybe explain why you feel certain emotions as long as you do. Most people are very unaware of this, but when you trigger the fight or flight stress response for any reason, even if it's just a trivial annoyance, your body goes into fight or flight and releases two floods of hormones. The first flood is adrenaline, which you've probably heard of, but it's actually a cocktail of hormones, so I say you're now under the influence. When you release these catecholamine hormones, mostly adrenaline, it affects not just you, but it's also affecting your growing baby. Your baby makes a 6-second cycle with its spine like this. But if you receive any sort of trauma, or you take a hit of a cigarette, or do something that the growing baby feels is some sort of a threat, the baby freezes. It doesn't make this 6-second cycle. Now this movement with the spine is actually drawing in fluid and expelling fluid, teaching the baby to breathe, use its lungs, and develop its lungs. So when it freezes, it's not doing that motion. That's like a chain-smoking woman, pregnant woman, will birth a baby whose lungs are underdeveloped. That's because this spinal movement didn't happen, drawing in the fluid and drawing it out. So it's just important for you to know that. It's also important for you to know that that's just the first flood of hormones. The second flood of hormones that goes out are called glucocorticoids. They have a good purpose, and I'm not going to go in depth. In my course, I share all of this really deeply with you. But when they go out, they have side effects. And one of the side effects is that your body's ability to ward off disease and to heal is dropped up to 40%. Well, that's almost half. As a pregnant woman, you need all of your energy and all your immune system flourishing and your ability to heal and grow all flourishing. So when you use the pressure-free method and you stop the release of the first set of hormones, the second set doesn't go out. That second set can make you feel anxious. Just when those hormones hit your brain, they can make you feel anxious. They can also cause sleeplessness. So if you're having trouble sleeping, this is huge. So our whole purpose together, working together, is that we prevent the first flood. Second flood never goes out. Now your body is flourishing and your baby is making that beautiful 6-second cycle with its spine because you didn't cause it trauma by going into fight or flight. When a male triggers these hormones, it takes his body up to 9 hours to dissipate the hormones out of the cells and get back to normal. 9 hours is the whole workday or a whole night trying to sleep. But for females, it's up to 24 hours that we're under the influence. That is just so long. So when you start to work with me and actually break these generations of habits of reaction to small annoyances, large situations, people, when we start to change our habits of reaction to stop overreacting, it's so incredibly profound. Your body is going to be healthier than it's ever been. Your baby is going to be healthy. So I highly urge you to take a deeper look into this and learn more about it. But I want to give you another tool today. I love giving tools. In my intro course, I have over 40 tools, and it just keeps growing from there. So lots of different tools because you're in different situations, and every one of your situations is this possibility that you might release stress hormones. So how do we stop? So this is to take, I'm sure you've heard, take a long, slow breath to de-stress. I knew about that for decades, but you know what? I never started my breath soon enough, and I never took a long enough one. Because once you're stressed, like this feels long. Well, that must be a long breath, right? It's like practically 1 second. So a 15-second breath is ideal. But I don't even count the seconds. I just really move into a beautiful space to take a long breath. And that's what I'm going to share with you today. So I want you to place a hand on your chest and a hand on your belly and just breathe normally. And I want you to notice if your belly hand is moving or your chest hand is moving, or are both of them moving. So ideally, just your belly hand is moving as you breathe in and out. Your abdominal muscles are gently opening and closing as you breathe. So if your chest hand is going up and down, that means most of your breathing is happening in the upper part of your lungs rather than down deep. So we're going to take a couple breaths, and I want you to imagine that 6-second cycle that your baby's making in here. We're going to do a longer one, but we're going to actually open up our spines and then kind of close our spines, like we're back inside our own mothers. Is that beautiful? We're back inside our own mothers in a beautiful sacred space. So we're going to breathe out first and gently tighten the abs and kind of coil up a little bit. Then we're going to open up and just really allow all the air to go deep down inside. So out first and tighten your abs. And then relax your abs and now breathe in. And out. And then relax and in. So it's almost like there's a shift when you relax your abdominal muscles and allow the air to come in. And you can even begin to breathe wide into your sides, breathe into your back, and lift your whole rib cage up so that there's plenty of room for that baby to grow. So lifting that rib cage and getting that breath really beautifully in. So I hope that's helpful. If you start your breath in the first 10 seconds that you feel one of those negative emotions, you're going to lower the heart rate so that those hormones never go out. So you're literally going to prevent stress at the source. So I hope that's helpful to you. It's such a pleasure for me to share these tips with you. I am on a huge mission to pressure free the world, and to pressure free and share pressure free with someone who is pregnant is probably one of the most delightful things I could ever think of doing. So if you want to learn more, please connect. Please, if you're on the fence, like I don't know if this is right for me or not, let's have a conversation. I'm not pushy. Obviously, I'm not pushy. Or I would have tried to sell you something on these videos, and I'm not. I'm just here for you. And if we have a strategy call, I'll give you some more tools, some more tips. But mostly I will listen to you to find out if pressure free really is right for you, if going deeper could be helpful to you. So I'm wishing you a fabulous pressure free day.